sounds like right at about where like the government filled it up, like I haven't spent much of that. It's like probably less than 2,000. So they want more than I have as a volunteer full-time worker. And I mean, yeah, just like seeing Robert like kind of like feel like he was breaking down, like I don't want to put anyone into that struggle for existence, or I don't even want to be in it, honestly, because like what kind of association is that? Like it's not first class. You wouldn't want to like be talking about that over prasadam. So I mean, honestly, I don't mind like the drama that Krishna is wonderfully arranging, that we're being led into by his devotees. But at the same time, like there's at least there should be an attempt to uphold dharma, that the government keeps its word about its unalienable rights that are in the
Right,
Constitution.
right. So when did you find out you had this issue? Like just recently, or was it a
Yeah,
lifelong?
I like got a text like because I was asking for like the new they have like this brand name one that's available, and I was just like wondering like if I can get the generic, same chemical. It takes the sugar out of the material body. Like, who cares who owns it? Like, it's all Krishna's property. And
Yes, yes.
so like they're just like I made the request that I get generic, just like as a like I don't care, like like you got this one brand and there's generic, but
Right.
they say, oh, not available yet. Okay, I mean, and then now like I'm figuring out that like if I want Novolog, it's that price. I mean, at least it is at one store. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it might be less somewhere else, but still, my income, I have agreed to make it zero, and that doesn't change the guarantee that the government has offered.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's a tricky situation, huh, Prabhu? You know, this things that cost probably so little to make, and they're charging an insane amount of money for that.
Yeah.
What's like, and then being in America, we think we have the best of everything, but our own people, they're having a very hard time surviving. Meaning that they're always in distress. And it's unfortunate. What can I say? And then when devotees have not much money, $2,000 or whatever per month or whatever, that's a lot of money. I mean, that's
Hmm.
like for a security guard like me, that's like uh, 3.5 weeks worth of work. you
Yeah.
know
As for your offer to travel to visit you all in person, um, as far as like making it a long-term thing, really, I'm very busy working cleaning the swimming pools, and also, I don't know if I've told you all this, but like I've been offered to. I mean, I accepted the
no.
request of one of the Matajis here. She said, "Will you let me be your mother?" And I said, "Yes." And so, therefore, I want to like honor Jiva Goswami's adventure of his lifetime, that he was turned away from by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the order, go to your parents, take care of them. And so she's a Vaishnav, and that's, your seva will save you. So why would I leave?
Also,
But as far as like talking to her about visiting, I think she would be really open to that. Like, when I talk to her about Krishna Balaram Swami, I don't know like how concerned she is about like that he rejects all the ISKCON gurus.
how old is this person, this devotee girl? 30, 40?
Probably more than 40, but not by much.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. You have to be very
And also
careful with.
Robert too. Robert offered to adopt me, and I mean, I didn't really accept it. I was just like, like appreciate it. I'm like, thank you, like, so like,
Right.
I kind of feel like he doesn't need to rent out this apartment, but since he's already got his pets here, I might as well stay.
Right. I see. And Ronald Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Is he here? Is he hearing? I cannot hear him. Can you hear him?
No.
You hear me?
Okay. Now I
Yeah.
will. Now.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
are.
Jai Prabhu. Yeah. We've been having a conversation about books, So, with Andrew Ananda Prabhu, he wants to distribute Prabhupada's books. So, yes, Prabhu, if you want, I can ship them to you. You just let me know whenever you want and how many you want. I think I have 4 boxes of the Gitas, but now it's the summertime here, so I'll be going out and trying to distribute. So
Jai.
yes. Fine. So maybe we can read some stuff today, Prabhu, since no one's joining us. Maybe I'll give you the host, Prabhu, and then you can read, and then we can have a, Ishtagoshti based on Prabhupada's writing, or can share our realizations. What do you think, Andrew and Prabhu and Master Prabhu? And when people join, then we can jump on to.
Jai.
Yeah.
What text are you?
Whatever.
Reading Nectar of Instruction last time.
Try. So let's. Can you take over, Prabhu? Let me give you the host. Make host. Yes. So you're the host now, so you can load up the whatever you'd like to read, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, I'm opening up the database or Prabhupada books.
Yes, please. PrabhupadaBooks.com.
Do you have an estimation about how many changes are on database?
Tons of changes, many hundreds, thousands. So that's why we use PrabhupadaBooks.com. It's not perfect, but
You changed database?
Database.com, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I was talking about this on our last meeting that they took down a letter of Srila Prabhupada because I remember it, and I tried to explain it, but like Srila Prabhupada
They do stuff like that. Right?
bewildered his rogue disciples.
Rogue disciples. That's a very harsh word, rogue disciples.
Well, I mean, like,
yeah, Prabhupada uses terminology like rascals, rascal editors.
Yeah, I've heard him like talk about them that way. That's why I said it.
Yeah, what's difficult? We're just repeating what they've said. Anyways, let's do our wonderful reading, Prabhus.
So, how preface?
Sure.
That'll get us in Srila Prabhupada's established mood of his kirtan that he's recorded in his writing.
Right.
So, share screen. Oh yeah, I found it. I remember where it is now. Share screen. Whoops. So you're okay? You're not in hot pursuit, Prabhu?
Me? No, I'm at home. I'm at home
Right.
pursuit now.
What were they worried about?
The carmies are worried about anything and everything.
Yeah.
They're worried about the position. They're worried about my business. They're worried about all. Don't pay to them. I just
But there is no
do my business. Like, what's this?
there is nothing lamentable in the kingdom of God.
God. Yeah, that's self-realized person.
Would you like to start, Andrew?
Brahmabhuta Prasantatma.
Preface. The Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or Bengali Vaishnavas, are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the six Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has
Narottam Das.
Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akuti Kave Hamadu Java Se Yuga Lakirti. When I am eager to understand you maybe move it, scroll it when I reach like a period or something.
Okay.
Not, you know what I mean? Like just as we go along. Yeah.
Every sentence?
Not every sentence, just like as
I'll do it.
as we go like towards the bottom, you can just, you know.
Okay.
As it start jumping around, it makes it difficult.
All right, can you read it in here? I don't know if it like cuts off any, so that's good.
Yeah. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in.
I think you skipped part. So I'm gonna just scroll back up because there's this right after the Sanskrit.
When I'm eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of the six Goswamis, Sri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta, Raghunath, Sri Shiva, Gopala Bhatta, and Das Raghunath. Sri Rupa Goswami was Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us Upadeshamrit, the nectar of instruction, to follow. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Shikshashtaka, Rupa Goswami gave us Upadesh Amrit so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. In all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is engrossed in everyone within this material world is engrossed in the mode of passion and ignorance. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, sattva guna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed.
Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis in Vrindavan. This is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books, such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdha Madhava, and Lalita Madhava. But Upadeshamrita constitutes the first instructions for neophyte devotees. One should follow these instructions very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna.
That's a very good sentence. Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the, what is it? The follower or devotee or something like that. What did it say?
Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower.
Attitude to follow. Wow.
That's Krishna's unconditional love.
Right.
That like his chastisement is this is it's one of those Upamana Pramanas that I compiled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least when I was like doing the compiling, I read it from Srila Prabhupada that the chastisement of Krishna is like the chastisement of the Father, that it's for the benefit. And so like that really like also like about like the different rasas, how in the spiritual sky there is always proper mixing of rasa, that the secondary rasas are there for the improvement of the primary rasa with Krishna, that like he maintains a relationship, and that relationship is, you know, spiced with the other secondary rasas, and
That is
always,
from that's from the nectar of devotion, or nectar of.
pardon me, I don't know where I read it, but it's
Oh, okay,
in
okay.
the scripture. Yeah.
All right.
And yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Right. Let's continue reading, Prabhus.
Yeah.
Or unless someone wants to share the realization.
Yeah. Do you have any do you want to go back to the preface?
Yeah, why not? Let's continue where we left off.
Yeah, we finished the preface. So
yeah,
where we left off is now the text.
Let's start with the text then.
Okay.
Who's reading next? Who's all reading?
You
I can read, Prabhu.
Okay.
I can, yes. Should I read, or
quiz? Does this help you read more? Did you want to skip the Sanskrit?
I'm gonna read the text. I read it quick if you want to. Vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam jiva vegam udaro pastha vegam nitan veganyo visaha eta vira sarvam api mam prativim sa shishya. Did you want to pick up Ramachandra, or?
yeah, I can read, Prabhu. Yes. Let me start reading. All right, let me fix this up. Krishna, okay. The purport, I mean the translation. Let's see, let me zoom out. Come on, let's see. This is okay. Can you go down a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean up. Sorry, the translation. Go up. Okay, there you go. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Okay, now we can go to the purport. It's very powerful stuff. First verse. Okay. Okay. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Shukadev Goswami. One of the questions was, quote, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses, unquote. For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see a thief arrested by the police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing, and we have to go down a little bit. Okay, let's go down a little bit more. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent. Okay, yeah. Okay, 1 second, Prabhu. This phone is not really my cup of the tea because I have it in, what's it called, sideways, and I cannot really read.
Oh, do you want me to flip my
blocked.
screen?
No, it's okay. I'm loading it on the computer, so it'll be all right. Okay, let me see. Okay.
You know, I think in this lifetime, you were the first person I ever heard acha from.
Yeah. Acha. Oh.
I asked, and it means very, very.
Okay, now I can see it now. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, I can read now. I'm on my computer now. So this is better. So let me read, okay? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see a thief arrested by the police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing, and one who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law books and shastras or scriptures that stealing is not good and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal, a foolish man, may have the experience of both hearing and seeing, and he may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. Even if such person atones and is punished by the government, he will commit again theft as soon as he comes out of jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus Parikshit Maharaj inquired. Okay, let's see. Let's go down more. I'll skip the Sanskrit and I'll go to the translation. Okay. He compared atonement to an elephant's bathing. The elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes onto the banks, it throws dirt all over its body. What then is the value of its bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and at the same time, commit many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy name of the Lord, this offense is called Namo Bala Yasyahi Papad Buddhi. Committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Similarly, certainly Christians go to church to confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sins before a priest and performing some penance will relieve them. Where am I? Oh, Narayan Prabhu is calling. Let me take this call and I'll give you guys a buzz back.
Please do, Prabhu.
Krishna Spiritam Krishna Spiritam Parvati Moyo Vipasha Ayashchetam Adogatam Vachineva Devada Vachichara Tatna Ayashchetam Adopartam Mani Punyara Shojava.
All right, Narayan Prabhu is coming on the show, so there should be Narayan Prabhu. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
We have Andrew Ananda Prabhu. We have Andrew Ananda Prabhu, Matthew Prabhu, Mohan Prabhu, and myself and yourself.
Okay.
We're just reading Nectar of Instruction.
This is from the Nectar of Instruction page. You have this from the Nectar of Instruction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that the one that Ashish wanted us to look at?
Yeah, he was quoting one of the later texts, so I thought we would just like get it. Since we're doing some reading, we would just like go through up to the point that he wanted us to read.
Sure, let's do it.
Right.
So where are we right now? You know, my screen used to allow the text to turn sideways if I turn my phone sideways, but it doesn't do that anymore.
I can turn my phone sideways. How about now?
Yours is sideways? How come mine isn't sideways?
Oh, try to turn your phone sideways, Narayan Prabhu. See what happens. Or
nothing. It stays vertical.
Do you want to be the host? Because I don't really mind the orientation.
Okay, let me be the host then.
I don't know.
Can you send me? Okay. Acha. Okay, let me be the host then again. All right. So screen share. Do you want to stop? Okay. So Nectar of Instruction. All right.
Yeah, it became sideways for a moment.
Oh.
Now it's back to vertical.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, if it's working, yeah, If
it's sideways, so it's easy to read.
Yeah, I'm holding my phone sideways now. Is it? I don't know if I'm still the host.
Okay. Let me put you the host again, Prabhu.
Okay.
Let me put you the host again, Matthew Prabhu. Make host.
It sounded like it started to work there right at the last moment.
Everything on my phone is vertical right now.
Okay. Okay, Matthew Prabhu, Mohan Prabhu, you're the host now.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't get to be sideways, huh?
No, he's trying to fix it.
Is it working? Does this change anything when I?
Well, if I see it sideways, I'll let you know.
Okay. You'll have to share the
Usually,
screen,
if you turn
Matthew.
the phone sideways, it shows up the sideways.
It's horizontal for me, because I'm holding the phone sideways.
Oh, can you extend that to?
You can be the host if you like it that way.
What?
You can be the host if you like it that way. I think just the
If
way
I
that
like it vertical, I don't like it vertical. I like it sideways.
Yeah, we can make you the host, and then you can go on. Probably.
I was never the host. When Ramachandra was the host, it always went sideways.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me go on this thing because I think there's some technical difficulties because I'm using my computer right now, so the computer should be able to fix everything. So let me reclaim host.
Well, let's see. It'd be nice if you can do it.
Let's see what happens. Nectar of Instruction. Let me go to prabhupadaBooks.com. And we go to books, Nectar of Instruction, 1970. We were reading from the first verse of devotion. And then let me go here. All right. So we are at Nectar of Instruction, right? Yes. I'm looking at Nectar of Devotion.
I chose you to call upon when he wanted to know if everything was going right. Is that right?
Who?
Narayan.
I want to know if everything is going right. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think I was watching your Memories of Srila Prabhupada video.
Okay.
And Srila Prabhupada, he would find you in the group of his disciples, and he would say, "Is everything okay, right?" Or
Is
what
everything all right?
is everything all right?
That's
Yes,
because of a
Prabhupada.
conversation in Prabhupada's room in 1968, December.
Mhm. And Narayan Prabhu said, yes, Prabhupada. And Narayan Prabhu was saying, people, we used to fight and all this, but seemingly when Srila Prabhupada was present, everyone somehow got along together. Usually. And then after Prabhupada had left, then everything kind of deteriorated again.
Well, because in New York, all the people that were in the temple had very strong individualized ego agendas.
Well,
Yeah.
when I first joined this Ishtagoshti, like maybe not the first meeting, but you said something very beautiful about the devotees getting together in the rainy season, and it's like the harmonization of their understanding of the.
Well, that was the Bhaktivedantas that had become the guides and mentors of Narada Muni when he was a child. His mother was serving those Bhaktivedantas prasadam.
Oh, thank you for the reference, because
yes.
like the way you explained that was so poetic. I really appreciate your association.
Interestingly, it happens to be the truth.
We got some Mexicans inside.
What's this?
Sorry, my neighbors were outside. Tripping.
Oh.
Okay, my screen is still vertical.
Still vertical? Interesting. Can you
annoying,
turn the phone?
I wouldn't say it. Huh?
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
Can you turn the phone sideways? See what happens?
It is sideways.
Oh, it's sideways? So you don't like it the way it is right now? You want it to be...
No. When I say my phone physically is sideways, the text is vertical.
Okay.
So I can't read it when it's sideways. I have to hold my phone upright, then I can read it.
No, we'll read it. We'll read it, Narayan Prabhu.
Yeah, but what happened to the fact that it used to automatically go sideways?
I have no idea. Remember, you have a new phone, right? What was it? Just recently?
No, it was doing it with the new phone as well.
Oh, I don't know. We're doing the same thing. Only
okay,
that.
I guess I have to just consider that I am out of luck.
I don't know. Oh, we have Mahaprabhu
for you
in the house. Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol, Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Jai, Hare Krishna.
Jai. So, since Mahaprabhu is in the house, Mahaprabhu, are you ready to hear something amazing? Prabhupada's brilliant Bhaktivedanta realizations and explanations. You ready? Why don't you read this? Can you read, Mahaprabhu? Prabhu? Or you're driving?
He's driving.
Okay. All right. Then I'll read.
Correct.
A sober person who can tolerate... Oh, no, Prabhu, you clicked. Okay. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Right. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world.
Okay, that is very clearly a trick sentence. Right?
Elaborate, Narayana Prabhu.
Well, I mean, if a man takes, the Kanista Adhikari takes sannyas in ISKCON, he's presumed to comply with all of those things to become a sannyasi. But we know that he isn't. He is restraining himself, but he's thinking about sex, or he's thinking about this, that, and the other thing.
Right, right. So this is the qualifications. So
Yeah. You're quoting the idea in Bhagavad Gita.
which is
What do you say?
Better to be a karmi than a pretender.
Well, yes. Oh, the sincere sweeper in the streets rather than a charlatan meditator.
Mhm.
I think that's how the passage goes.
Yes.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Okay. Wow.
So the actual fact is, the only person that can deliver disciples all over the world is an Uttama Adhikari.
That's what it's saying in this verse. Yes, a person, sober person. You know, all these things,
Okay,
minds,
so-
demands.
This is the Isa Upanishad, or that mean nectar of instruction?
Yes, this is the nectar of instruction. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really agree with that statement. Uttamadhikari is the description here, especially like this the mind's demands, like how it accepts and rejects so many things. But
Go and check my new reels in Instagram.
Mm. Thank you.
Who is the Mataji? Who's the lady?
Crazy
Hello?
lady.
Isn't there a lady on our connection here?
she said something about checking out her Instagram. But I was saying that the mind's demands. My understanding is that like they're chaotic. It's like accept, rejects, and the intelligence guides that. But even the intelligence can be misdirected in the wrong.
Yeah, but why not simplify it down to the core issue?
Kanishka Adhikari.
Yeah,
The
Uttamadhikari.
core issue is anytime we start talking about the minds, we're talking about a materially conditioned soul. End of story.
Yeah.
and the inundation of
The
Krishna
jiva is
Yes.
not the jiva is not the body or the mind.
right. But the goal is to bring the jiva out of the condition.
No, it's to shed the condition so that the jiva is remaining, because that's who you are.
Yeah, like to get out of the illusion.
Yeah.
That I'm this
Yeah,
body.
supposing you're covered with all sorts of mud and crud and chicken manure and stuff like that, and then you stand under the shower, well, at some point, you'll be a clean-looking person, not a filthy person.
Yeah,
But as long as you identify that you're the filthy person, you will live accordingly. The conditioned soul, because he's a conditioned soul, wants food, wants meat, wants alcohol, wants drugs, wants sex life, wants everything that is in the material world. After all, that's why the conditioned soul came here to be a conditioned soul, is because he wanted the things the material world would produce, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that has nothing to do with spiritual life. Spiritual life is when you can be the soul, leaving the body and the mind. No, the mind has to come with the soul, but leaving the body to fend for itself without identifying with it even slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
I mean, like I can philosophically attempt to utilize the false ego in Krishna's
That's
service.
not what I'm talking about.
But yeah, like
No, the false ego. The
the
false
guy-
ego is false.
really
How
helps.
about the real ego? how do you utilize the real ego?
That is the Swarup.
No, ego means self in Greek.
Okay.
The real is the real self connected to your body?
No.
Eternally. Yeah, there's like a relative connection, and
Is
we're
there?
speaking on the
Well,
absolute
Why do you accept
level.
that? Why do you accept that for yourself?
Relative?
Why accept the relative connection to the body?
By
Why?
using the false ego to just have an understanding of it, but not fall under its trap, so that you can relate to those that are in that trap, and therefore negate it.
But
And
don't you think that's a little on the silly side? How can you relate to the false ego when you're completely in the grip of the false ego?
well, it's this practice that was taught to me by my bhakti leader, is giving
Well,
good.
what's he a self-realized soul?
Pardon? I'm explaining it. It's these two teachings from Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, that Rupa Goswami prayed that he would have 1,000,000 mouths
Would have what?
for kirtan. Rupa Goswami would have 1,000,000 mouths for kirtan. That's his prayer, right?
A merry mouse?
1,000,000 mouths.
A million?
A million tongues. A million
Yes.
mouths.
Oh, mouths.
Yeah.
Yeah, mouths.
For
Yeah.
his kirtan. And Sanatana Goswami instructs us, do not listen to the teachings of a non-devotee. And my bhakti leader at that time, Pranata Karunadas, he very eloquently explained to us how we can simultaneously give good association, and as the bad association comes, who cares? That's what I'm talking about. It's it's understanding the false ego that people find themselves in as a relative connection to myself.
Well,
that
what about when you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror?
Talking. I mean, I want to complete this so that it is in the mode of goodness.
Go ahead.
Complete thought that we are relating to the false ego in how they feel, and identifying how you can make them understand
who's them?
The conditioned soul before you.
Oh, yeah. And you're not a conditioned soul, or you are a conditioned soul? Are you a conditioned soul or a liberated soul?
That's something, I mean.
Well, aren't you talking about how a conditioned soul with some knowledge of Krishna consciousness can talk to another conditioned soul and convince that conditioned soul that he's not a conditioned soul?
With the help of Guru and Sadhu and Shastra.
Who is Guru? Do you have a guru?
I have many gurus. I mean, I just.
No, I'm talking about the guru as described in Shastra, not the guru as described in ISKCON.
Right. Yeah. Do we have any dictionary term for diksha?
Diksha? It simply means the act of accepting a guru through a fire of sacrifice.
So
whoever gives you the fire of sacrifice in your spiritual name is either your guru or a representative of Prabhupada, but not both.
Either guru or a representative of Srila Prabhupada?
Yeah.
What who's the guru?
Whoever says he's a guru, I guess. Any karmi can be a guru if people believe in him.
Like the
Guru,
heavy.
like.
You know that.
Guru,
I mean,
aren't there a sufficient number of gurus all over ISKCON that have no particular qualification to be gurus?
well, that's the like particular opportunity described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it's the 11th canto. Therefore, like, I don't think you want to read it, but about
Why go to the 11th canto? Why not from this
that's
sloka we're reading?
That's
mean-
the
This text of instruction we're reading, the first verse is talking about the Uttama Adhikari.
Everybody thinks that if they join the organization called ISKCON and follow the regular principles and chant and do everything you're supposed to do, worship the deity, take prasad, and follow the 4 regular principles, that somehow they have become a spiritual person. What they are is a person in the process of being trained to be a spiritual person. The spiritual person does not emerge until that person becomes self-realized. And I don't know a single person in ISKCON at this point who one could say is self-realized. Do you?
well, I mean, I kind of have a special definition of ISKCON just for my own sanity.
Well, it stands for International Society for Krishna Consciousness and was completely defined down to the last tidbit in 1966 when he filed the organization as a nonprofit organization.
So the corporation.
ISKCON is a corporation.
I would say it's not limited to, because it is a spiritual movement.
Actually, it's a structure that can produce spiritual people. When you say spiritual movement, what do you mean by spiritual movement?
Krishna's wonderful, his devotees there, and they are
Krishna's devotees. So Krishna's devotees in ISKCON, pure devotees.
Yeah, as long as they're surrendered to
they're pure devotees.
Highest good, which is Krishna's wonderful arrangement.
They can see past, present, and future, and they can are trikolagya.
But we should establish that they have the same potency as Krishna in that matter, because
who told you these things?
What?
A Kanista Adhikari is a neophyte. He's one step above being a karmi. How is he suddenly a spiritual person? If he's spiritual, he doesn't need the regulated principles, does he?
What are you talking about? Yeah, Uttama Adhikari definitely needs guidance.
I'm talking about, you were talking about ISKCON members, right? You're talking about the membership of ISKCON, that they are really spiritual.
Like theoretical.
The members of ISKCON comprise a spiritual organization. My question is, what makes it a spiritual organization? My understanding is that when you become a member of ISKCON, you become an independent philosopher developing your own Krishna consciousness to the best of your ability until in some remote time, you may become a Madhyam or then even an Uttama Adhikari. I don't know about joining a spiritual organization. ISKCON isn't a spiritual organization. It's a corporation from New York.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one way to describe ISKCON.
No, it's the only way you can describe ISKCON.
Yeah, but
you can describe ISKCON as being a peacock with beautiful feathers, but that doesn't make it true.
In Srila Prabhupada's books, like, he writes out the sentence, and he also gives a word-to-word interpretation. Translation, yeah. Pardon my.
So what has that got to do with ISKCON being a spiritual organization?
That it's the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Therefore, if someone is not for
Krishna, Oh yeah, I'm not saying you should do something other than Krishna consciousness. All I'm saying is that it's not a spiritual organization. It's an organization where you can have an opportunity to develop your own individual spiritual intelligence.
See, but I'm talking about the words that he used.
Well, what are they?
The International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
Well,
and I take
okay. What? Let's go over them word by word.
As a mantra because
what
it is.
What does international mean? What's the spiritual word for international? Or is that a spiritual? Is international one of the spiritual words that you're describing?
It's like kind of like borderless. It's like, hey, he came from India, but hey, it's international.
International means between nations,
right?
Or even including nations.
Yeah, not border.
That doesn't have to be Krishna conscious. It could be a automobile company.
So yeah, how would you feel about like the higher planets and their wanting to be involved in ISKCON? Like, hey, we're this
the what?
The higher planetary systems. Like
they're not involved with ISKCON, except that Prabhupada described that when we have kirtan and artik, the demigods headed by Narada Muni and Lord Brahma, Iba Jaya Jaya Gorachande, they come to witness our kirtan. Right. And Prabhupada said also to laugh at us.
See, I personally would not exclude them from the ISKCON because.
Why not?
Yeah, why would I want to exclude anyone from ISKCON? Because it's really an unlimited.
Okay, if a guy owns a butcher shop, if a man owns a butcher shop, you exclude him from ISKCON. A butcher.
Well, I mean, personally, I would love him from a safe distance, because I don't trust myself to like go like, without like devotee association and like a plan of like just going in there.
To a butcher shop, you mean?
Yeah, like it seems like an unnecessary risk because I can better utilize my time like where I'm not in such a negative place. But I mean, ultimately that butcher should be liberated. And like, I would make a plan of like, where's the devotee? How do we get this guy? Like, it's why like,
well, I was asking, is the butcher liberated?
that's I was talking about the point avaduta.
We're talking about the word international society for Krishna consciousness.
Right.
International means between nations. International, between nations.
Okay.
Society means a group of people that basically have a certain number of common goals. And then when you say four, it directs us to what those common goals might be. Society for Krishna consciousness means it's a society where you cultivate consciousness of Krishna.
Okay.
But that has nothing to do with devotees in ISKCON being anything more than ordinary people following the regulated principles. That doesn't mean they're enlightened.
Yeah. I mean, the regulative principles is like, the rules and everything, and it's important. But there are avadutas too.
Why? If you're Krishna conscious, why is following the rules of the four regulative principles important?
Because it helps to regulate that wild mind that we were just referring to at this text.
Right. So if a person is a member of ISKCON. So International for Krishna Consciousness, following the 4 regulative principles is to prevent that person from breaking them, right?
Yes.
So there's no particular spiritual attainment implied in being a member of ISKCON. The only spiritual part of ISKCON, being a member of ISKCON, is taking Diksha, which is your vow to obey the founder Acharya of ISKCON.
Is that written in Shastra?
That is Shastra.
Did Srila Prabhupada write that and describe that as Diksha? And particularly including posthumous, like, you know, after I've left my body. Not that he like even leaves his body at all, but just that, like, you know, he has the prakat, manifest pastimes.
You want to, at this stage of the game, after decades of its existence, you're looking for a definition for Diksha?
Yes.
Well, why not find it? From the database, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll use Prabhupada books.
But the main point I want to make is Diksha, ISKCON is no better than any individual member of ISKCON.
So yeah, Diksha here says initiation. The initiation process. So well, I mean, that one says Diksha Vidhana, the initiation process. So
In a sense, I just looked up the word Diksha in general, and it says is given a mantra or an initiation by the guru. In Indian religions such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, they all use the word Diksha. See, Diksha is not, Diksha is, all Diksha does is establish your commitment to surrendering to the Acharya, Prabhupada.
yeah, and there's like specific.
Obviously, ISKCON is filled to the rafters with people that are not interested in surrendering to the Acharya Prabhupada. They're interested in surrendering to a Kanista Adhikari who may or may not be following the regulated principles.
Yeah, and they'll have to atone for that.
There has to be what?
They will have to atone for that grievous sin of taking a non.
Why would they have to atone for it? If they say things like that, they're not members of ISKCON at all. There's nothing to atone. There's never a reason to atone for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about like.
You think that the ISKCON gurus are going to atone for initiating people when they are not even
souls, it doesn't
often
really
qualified to be initiated yet?
Yeah, what's that qualification?
To take Diksha? Surrender to the Acharya.
Yeah, where is that definition ever like written? Because I mean, like,
what is your understanding of Diksha?
Yeah, I mean, initiation process. Yeah, like it can be done where you have the instructions of the Acharya, and it's provided
You
for
either-
you. And
and